Bart didn't even aim his shotgun at the bird. Yet the bird was struck anyway. It turned out the gun sights were so misaligned that one had to aim wide to actually hit the target. Bart was instantly consumed by a deep sense of guilt. He even hallucinated being put on trial by a jury of 3 birds. After the deliberation, they found him guilty of bird murder. Bart jolted awake in a state of terror. Just then, Marge pulled up in her car. Driven by remorse, he tried to cover up his crime. However, the cat ended up snitching on him. Marge spotted the bird's lifeless body. She believed that Bart had to face the consequences of his actions. As a result, Bart took it upon himself to raise the bird's 2 orphaned eggs. Since the eggs needed warmth to hatch, Bart rigged up a makeshift incubator using the basement light fixture. This left the stairwell in pitch darkness, causing Homer to tumble down the stairs. Bart proved to be a remarkably devoted mother. He treated those eggs as if they were his own flesh and blood. He even gave them names. Whenever it rained, Bart was right there holding an umbrella over them. Furthermore, his constant use of high-wattage heat lamps kept the basement power out. Naturally, Homer took another header down the stairs. Whenever the cat tried to sneak up on the babies, Bart would immediately douse the cat with water. The cat would then run inside and shake itself dry, soaking the dog and Homer in the process. But Homer didn't mind the mess. He was more concerned that Bart was spending all his time in the treehouse. Marge also found it strange and decided to go check on him. Seeing a tangled mess of power strips at the door, she immediately unplugged them for safety. This loss of heat threatened the egg's survival. In desperation, Bart used his own body heat to keep them warm. Marge happened to walk in and witness this touching scene. Once she understood her son's noble intentions,
Oh, honey. Oh, come here. Oh, my goodness. Look.
Marge decided to bring the eggs inside. She nursed them with great care, ensuring they stayed perfectly warm. Finally, their efforts paid off as the shells began to crack. To everyone's shock, it wasn't birds that emerged, but a pair of lizards. Ever the curious one, Homer poked at one of the lizards. The lizard promptly bit him in response. Nursing his hurt feelings, Homer retreated to the basement to eat some pie. Confused by the hatchlings, Bart turned to Principal Skinner for an identification. Skinner consulted a book and discovered they were a dangerous invasive species. They were known to eat bird eggs and then trick the mother birds into raising their own offspring. Skinner insisted that the lizards had to be exterminated, but Bart had already grown fond of the little creatures. He grabbed the lizards and bolted, with the others hot on his heels. The chase led to the roof, where Bart found himself cornered. As Skinner closed in, a struggle ensued, and the lizards plummeted over the edge. Miraculously, it turned out these lizards actually had wings. Even more surprising was that they weren't a threat at all. In fact, they preyed on a species of bird that carried harmful viruses. The townspeople were overjoyed by this news. Bart was hailed as a hero for saving the lizards. Even Skinner apologized for his rash behavior. Lisa, however, stood to the side, wondering what would happen once the town was overrun with lizards.
No problem. We simply unleash wave after wave of Chinese needle snakes. They'll wipe out the lizards.
But aren't the snakes even worse?
Yes, but we're prepared for that. We've lined up a fabulous type of gorilla that thrives on snake meat.
But then we're stuck with gorillas.
No, that's the beautiful part. When wintertime rolls around, the gorillas simply freeze to death.